We got some leaf blowing going on here. But we are live from Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. And it is 6:30 on this beautiful Monday morning. We're gonna walk away from the leaf blowers so we have a little bit more peace this morning. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We're excited to start the week. We're gonna go on a little walk this morning. I'm actually so excited to be here at this resort. I haven't been here in quite some time, so it'll be nice to kind of take a little morning walk around the resort. It's a little bit cooler this morning here in Orlando. Starting to cool down a little bit. That's why I straightened my hair so we look somewhat like a human. We don't have any humidity, no frizz action. So it's definitely starting to get cooler. So hopefully this weather keeps up. But thanks so much for being here. We're gonna talk about a few things today, having to do with some of the books that I've been reading on 75 Hard. We're gonna reflect on the past week. We're gonna talk about topics like vulnerability, strength, courage, and we're gonna get into that in just a little bit. Good morning, Kelsey. Hello, Stephen Noon. So Steven says, good morning, Law and Lynette. I'm actually awake, 5:30 out here, and remembered to check the stream. Walking around one of our favorite resorts. We'll be there in a month. Nice, that's exciting. So you get a little sneak peek. Hey, Eric, good morning, happy Monday. Hope you got the day off. I did not get the day off, but I have been off quite a lot recently. I am working virtually now, but with the company that I'm working for, it's actually all across the state of Florida. So with the past two hurricanes that we had, it affected a lot of people that I work with. So with Helene, I was off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. With Milton, I was off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So in the past 2 weeks, I've only worked like 4 days. So I am not off today, but it's okay. Gotta get back in the swing. Gotta get back in the swing. It's time to focus, get ready for the week. Oh, take in this gorgeous, gorgeous scenery here. So I know I talked last week about one of the books I was reading. It's called A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that book and some things that I've learned there. And I started another Brené Brown book. It's called Daring Greatly. So we're going to talk about that one as well as we go on a nice little stroll around Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. And like I said, I haven't been here in quite some time, so it'll be nice to kind of take it all in with you guys and just do some reflection. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that like button, consider subscribing, and maybe even become a Patreon as well. The link is down below. And I just want to remind everyone that you're in a safe space, right? Everything that I'm sharing with you is things that I've learned and my interpretation of things that I've read or heard on a podcast and learned along my journey. So if you like what I have to say, great, take it. If there's something that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay, you can leave that. But just know that you're in a safe place, judgment-free. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, you can always stay active in the chat. There is no judgment here. Good morning, Captain Kirk. Happy Monday is right. This beautiful bridge. And I love kind of just taking a minute to take in. I love how lit up the resort is in the morning. You can kind of just like see how grand it is. Such a large resort. Yes. Hey, Lady Kirk. Yes, it's a gorgeous resort. So excited to go exploring. I have still yet to eat at the Four Bridges restaurant over there. I know I've heard like some mixed things actually, but more good reviews than bad. But I would love to try one day because I do love eating outside, and they have tables right on the water there. So I got to get with the program and get over there. So nice. All right, so let's go. We'll go this way so we can walk around the lake. So like I said, in reading that amazing book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, as I said last week, he is a psychiatrist that survived the Holocaust. And half the book was him kind of talking about his experiences being in Auschwitz. And he also, in the second half of the book, talked about how it affected him. And he kind of looked at it just as a psychologist would, with a little bit more of an analytical eye. Can I get in here? No, they lock it at this hour. Okay. But the pool looks really cool, actually. So the second half of the book was more of a reflection of his experiences, and he kind of looked at it a little bit more critically. It's a little bit, I mean, it's a short book, but it's very heavy. But I just want to share, I love quotes, so I'm going to share one of the quotes from the book with you guys. So he says, the person you become is not the result of an inner, is a result of an inner decision, not the result of a surrounding atmosphere, right? So basically you have a choice of who you want to become. You have a decision. So even though he went through this extremely awful experience, that doesn't define who he is as a person, right? He's not letting his surroundings kind of define who he is. You have a choice, and that goes for everybody listening. Like, regardless of your circumstances or the hand that you've been dealt, you have a choice every single day of who you want to be. You have a decision that you can make. And I've heard, and learned things like this before. It's not something that is new to me, but just hearing it from somebody who's been through such an awful experience really was just way more profound, honestly. For somebody to go through such horrible tragedy and then to feel that way still is, to me, it was just extremely powerful. Love this pool area. I have to come back and hang out. I like to go on that water slide over there. Fun little spot. They have a lot of jacuzzis or like hot tubs here too. And something else that he had mentioned, based on, again, his experiences and the advice he gave for people, anyone that's going through a hard time or you're suffering through something, is rise above the situation, observe your current sufferings as if they already happened in the past. So putting that in perspective of like, almost, I don't even want to say like blocking out the experience, because you do want to make sure that you're feeling it, but almost reflecting on it as if it happened to you already. It gives you a different perspective, and it makes it seem more survivable. I would say, right? Because if you're thinking like this already happened to me, it kind of shifts your mindset a little bit as to like how to push through. Actually, I feel like if Peter were here in the chat, he would tell me, don't go over the bridge yet. So I don't want to go over it yet. Let's walk around this way. And I definitely don't want to equate any of my quote unquote sufferings or difficult times or challenges to what Viktor Frankl experienced in Auschwitz. Definitely no comparison there. But I think that we shouldn't be comparing our struggles. We shouldn't be comparing those challenging times, because everybody goes through things, and based on their past experiences, you know, it affects people differently. So we shouldn't really diminish our struggles or our challenges. I know it's hard sometimes when we all kind of think about, you know, well, I know other people that have a worse situation than me, or this isn't the worst thing that can happen, but it's okay to still be struggling. It's okay to validate those feelings. Like, you know, I am going through something that's tough, but to sit in it and to dwell on it, that's where it gets a little counterproductive. Lynette says, I can relate to this discussion. I could have gone in a bad direction because of my childhood. Yeah, but you make that choice, Lynette. You make that choice every single day, right? And like I said in previous streams, like our pasts really create who we are today and the lens that we kind of look at the world. So you might see something completely different than I see it because of our past experiences. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for joining us. And we're just gonna go on a little stroll back here before we get back to the lake in the middle. I love how quiet it is. Sorry that we started the stream with a leaf blower, but now it's very quiet. Stephen Noon says, goes with the concept that can't change your past. You can't change your past, but you can change your future. Absolutely. Right? You can't change the circumstances that occurred, the situations that occurred in the past, but you have control over how you see your future and the decisions that you make every single day. And honestly, 75 hard really teaches you that. Second time around is not any different than my first time. You know, I didn't go into 75 hard looking to get a physical change. It was more of a mental, emotional mindset shift, a mental toughness challenge, if you will. But I'm seeing results physically based on the decisions I'm making on a daily basis, whether it's, you know, not drinking alcohol or eating in a healthier way. I'm seeing that as the time goes on physically, right? So I am altering my future self by making those decisions every day. So something more tangible that you can see would be a physical change. And then obviously that mental shift is there as well, but it's not as obvious to the naked eye. And I think I'm on day 44 right now. So I'm more than halfway through. I'm so excited. But this time around is definitely a more relaxed experience, I would say. I think the first time I was so stressed on making sure I got all of my daily tasks done and complete, and I was very anxious. I thought I was going to mess up. But this time around, just knowing that I've done it before is, it puts me at ease. I know I can do it. Such a gorgeous resort. This makes me want to stay here now. I would love to just wake up early and just go for a walk. I mean, I'm doing it now, but to just be here and wake up and go for maybe a run around the lake, that'd be awesome. I think we're gonna end up looping and then I'll go over the bridge. Something else that Viktor Frankl talks about in the book is hope, right? Because without hope, a lot of people, including him, would not have survived the horrible experiences of the Holocaust. And he says that hope drives you. You need goals to work towards. And if you are going through a tough time, or even if you're not, if you're kind of living each day kind of in a mundane way and you feel like every day is Groundhog Day, have a goal. Put a goal in place, because that is what drives you forward. That's what helps you to create different decisions every day. And holding on to that hope of change and hope of a better day is what helps to propel you forward. I know that I'm going to get to day 75 and be a different person, and that's what keeps me going every single day. Even on the days where I don't feel like doing the second workout, or I'm sad that I can't participate in having, a drink at happy hour. But just knowing that there'll be a great outcome at the end is what drives me forward. So if you're somebody that doesn't have a goal in mind right now, or you're not looking forward to something, think about your week. Even take it in a smaller scale. What can be something that you're looking forward to this week? Whether it be Friday after work or this weekend. Put something in place, something that you're working towards, something that's going to keep you motivated and moving through your week. Hey, my mom is here. Good morning, Mom. We're at Coronado Springs Resort, going for a little walk. I think I'm going to turn, well, I don't know actually. Let's see. I'm going to come around the other side of the pool and then we'll get back to the water. My mom just got back from her trip to Paris. I'm surprised you're awake. I know you're a little jet lagged, but welcome home. Passing around the dig site. Lynette says, hold on one second, let me just pause over here. We'll take a nice little shot of the resort. So Lynette says, it's funny, but when I was young, when you wish upon a star, kept me optimistic. I love that, Lynette. That makes me so happy. Yeah, that song kind of does something to me too. Very nostalgic. Captain Kirk says, even small goals, next minute, hour, week will keep you moving in the right direction. Absolutely. So just having something, holding on to that hope that there will be something greater in your future is what's going to keep you moving. And it's important. Oh, people are waking up. We have a guests are waking up. So it's important to think about your why. Viktor Frankl talks about this as well. You need a why to live for in order to make it through the impossible how. And he talks about that a lot in the book. Like, how am I going to get through this? How will I make it to the next day? But if you think about your why, and in his extreme situation, right, how will he survive the next day? He has to think about why he is here on this earth. And that's something that you might feel or might resonate with you as well. Like, what is your purpose here? What are you living for? Right? And even if you're someone that can't come up with a goal right now, focusing on that why are you here, will help you to create that goal. I got to take another trip here and go to the top of the Gran Destino Tower and watch some fireworks. I haven't done that in such a long time. But I definitely want to schedule that in and make it a priority. I'm usually in bed by the time the fireworks are going off. But again, I want to thank all of you for being here, and I acknowledge you for making some time for you in the morning, especially on a Monday morning when Mondays can be a little hectic, a little chaotic sometimes. You're making time for you, and you're starting your day off on the right foot, so thanks for being here. Hey, Theme Park Dad, thanks for joining. I heard that you injured your wrist. I hope you're doing okay. And something really empowering that I learned from this book is that what you've experienced in your life, all of your experiences, all of your past, no power on earth can take that from you. Like, that's yours. And your memories of those experiences, nobody can take that from you. You have ownership of it, no matter how challenging or how amazing the experience was. That's something that will always stay with you. So that's something to think about too when, you're somebody that maybe can't get over something in the past, or is feeling like a victim, or feeling very upset about it. Just know that that's yours. And how you adapt based on that experience and how you move forward, that's your responsibility and your decision. So sometimes just shifting that mindset will help you in processing those experiences and those emotions. Oh, you broke your wrist. Oh my goodness. Cynthia Little, hello. Well, I hope you heal quickly. I'm so sorry to hear that. So we're gonna go around the lake here, and we're gonna make our way around so we can take a look at the other side of the resort. So dark over here, but I like it. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We're ready for this week ahead. I'm almost like bracing for impact because I know that my week is going to be a little bit stressful, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there was some sort of animal over there. I was trying to get it, but it's not in the light. It was either a rabbit or an armadillo or something that I have no idea, but it was one of the two. But something I'm looking forward to, even though it sounds small, is I made plans with one of my really good friends. And on Friday, we're going to go for a nice walk together. So I know I'm looking forward to my second workout with my friend. We're going to go on a nice little stroll together on Friday. So that's going to keep me going throughout the week. I know it seems small and trivial to some people, but it's the little things that keep you going, right? Especially when sometimes I don't feel like going on my second workout, but just knowing that I'll have someone with me to talk to and be a little bit vulnerable with, it's nice to, look forward to that. So if you want to share something you're looking forward to this week or weekend, add it to the chat. I'd love to hear. And when you're having those challenging, stressful times this week, because that's life, it is going to happen, you can then refocus and look forward to whatever that thing is that you're looking forward to. Lynette says, some of my past disappointments and troubles pop up in my head, but it passes when I see where I am now. Yes, that's so important to reflect on. And I don't want to put any names out there, but one of my friends was struggling with that a couple of days ago. She went through some tough times when she was younger and had a substance abuse problem, and there were some things that came up, and she was triggered by the hurricane in particular, and she had some feelings about it and didn't really know how to process them. But I think at the end of the day, and she confirmed this for me, was, she was in a different place then, and you need to almost forgive yourself for being that way at that time in your life, because maybe that's what you needed to learn and grow. So if you're forgiving yourself for the person that you were, the experience that happened, the decisions that you made, you're able to move forward and almost use that like a badge of armor. Like, I've been through this and I came out better. We're gonna walk through here. This is gorgeous. Looks like they turned off the fountain, but it's still so pretty. It's a beautiful resort. I love walking through here. Pete and I did, I don't know if it was in the morning. I can't imagine him being up this early doing a stream, but maybe it was at night. We walked through this resort here, and I just remember we saw like all these little like alcoves and little areas and fountains, and I never knew they existed. So I don't remember if it was in the morning or at night, but we did a stream together. So if you're not already subscribed to Adventures by Carney, you want to check out his channel. And I think this is where I want to go. And I think I lied about the humidity being gone, because things are starting to happen with the hair situation. So Florida is going to Florida. That's just the way it is. No worries. All right. Is this what I wanted? I don't know. There's like a little area that I wanted to go into. I have to find it though. It might be over there. Let me see. The sun is starting to rise. The sky just looks so gorgeous. Yes, Captain Kirk. The casitas. So we have, I don't want to spin it too fast. So this is casitas. I think it's, it looks like it's building 4. But yeah, I love the music in the background. Oh, we have a runner. So as I mentioned, I am reading another book by Brené Brown. It's called Daring Greatly. And I'm already obsessed with this book. I think I just love the way that she writes because it feels like you're just having a conversation with a good friend. She just knows how to communicate her thoughts and ideas in such a way that is easy to understand, but also it's a heavier topic, the topics that she discusses, but she makes it so almost like bite-sized, and you're able to really process what she's saying. But she mentions in the beginning of the book that you should really analyze your first thoughts in the morning, because if you sit back and actually reflect on it, a lot of our culture, I've talked about this before, focuses on like the concept of not being enough, not having enough. And she said, for example, some of your first thoughts might be, I didn't get enough sleep, or there wasn't enough time yesterday, right? And we're in this scarcity mindset, and we need to really be mindful of that instead of starting our day with that scarcity. Oh, let's let this guy go around. We should really start our day with gratitude. And what I did a couple years ago, it just reminded me of this when I was still in New York and living in my parents' house. But I was taught this technique, this really good habit, and I did it for a couple of years. I have to get back into it because I really thought it started my day out great. Getting in the habit of, before you put your feet on the ground, out of your bed, you should think of 10 things that you are grateful for before you even step foot out of your bed. And that helps to reframe your mindset for the day. And at first it kind of started out like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna list these things and get it over with. But then the more times that you practice that and do it over and over again, it actually starts to take effect on your mind. So I encourage you to start that. Captain Kirk has stayed here in this particular area and loved it. Yes, so calming and relaxing. It really is. For the amount of rooms that are here, the amount of people this resort holds, it is pretty quiet and relaxing. Not gonna lie, like, look how gorgeous this little fountain is. There's another spot. Maybe I passed, or is it coming up? I'm not sure. Let's see. So pretty. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be turned on in some way, right? I don't know. I think a lot of things were turned off because of the storm. Yeah, Lynette says, I'll have to try that. I start my day watching the news. Not a good idea. Yes, and I tell my parents this as well. Turn off the news, please, because if you're watching that all day, there's no way that you're in a good mood. There's just no way. The news kind of pumps out a lot of negative information. And yes, they might have a feel-good story here and there, but majority of the news is going to be negative, and that's going to shape you for the rest of your day. So you have to be mindful of that. Should you get some information from the news? Sure. But you have to make sure that you're not obsessing over it and watching it all day long. Captain Kirk, great way to start out your day with 10 positive/grateful thoughts. Yeah, absolutely. And it feels weird at first, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like, oh, am I just like listing things? Like, what's going on here? But after a while, you're like, no, I really am grateful for these things. And, you know, it's important to reflect on that and start with that. I know a lot of people grab their cell phones and scroll through social media, or like Lynette said, turn on the news or watch something that, like, play a game on your phone. Things that are not really getting you started in the right way. I mean, on Monday mornings, you can start with YouTube and turn on Learning with Law and just hang out with me. That's totally fine, because we're spreading positivity and we're sharing new ideas and information. We're reflecting. So that's a great way to start your day. But you want to make sure you're mindful of all the other days of the week. Look at this. Are you kidding me? How gorgeous is this resort? And this is just like part of, just in the middle here. You have your elevators over there. There's no rooms like facing this, but imagine just waking up and walking down the hall and seeing this cute little area here. I'm obsessed with this, obsessed. It's a great picture spot too. Actually, do we want to go this way? Let me see what's over here. I don't know. Let's go this way. I see a fountain. Let's go towards the fountain. Peaches, good morning. Peaches says, good morning, Lauren and everyone in the chat. I am off work today for the holiday, but have to get up for my oldest for school. Thanks for joining us. Look at this fountain. Come on now. Another great picture spot, especially at this hour. We can take some good shots here. So beautiful. Just in this little quiet courtyard here. I gotta come back here and just go for a run one day. I actually should start training because I'm doing the Celebration half marathon in January and I'm kind of slacking with my running. So I gotta get back to it. Let's go out here. I'm telling you, Peaches, you haven't been here at all to even see it? I am shocked. They have a really good Mexican restaurant in here too. I forget the name of it. Is it maybe Maya, I think? But it's really, really good. Captain Kirk says, we have been starting out our day listening to generators, and that has us grateful for so many things we take for granted. Oh my goodness, Captain Kirk and Lady Kirk, I am so sorry that you are still without power. How's it go? At least you have a generator. That's definitely a plus. But how's it going for you guys? And Peaches says, how is your 75 hard going? It's going great, Peaches. I'm on day 44. I'm very grateful for this process and this journey. Second time around is definitely way different than the first, but I'm really enjoying it. And I love that 75 Hard, part of the process, part of the program, is to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every single day. And that is something that I'm going to continue even after 75 Hard, because that is the only way that we grow and learn. You don't know what you don't know. But there's definitely some other fiction books that I'm going to read after 75 Hard, as well as my nonfiction books. because I think it's called The Housemaid. I don't know, there's a series, Housemaid or something like that, that I hear is very good, so I gotta get into it. It's a thriller, and that is my genre. Three Bridges is supposed to be really good there. Yes, Peaches, I have heard good things. So it is right over here, right on the water. I think it's only outdoor seating, I'm pretty sure. And it looks gorgeous. I would love to just watch the sunset from Three Bridges. Lady Kirk says, thank you, Lauren. We are doing good. Very hopeful the power will be restored today. Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I hope you guys are doing okay. You know, you can always come to Disney and take a little vacay. But I'm glad that you have generators. That's a huge help. I know that a lot of my friends around the Orlando area, the ones that lost power, also had generators. So that always makes me happy, because it's a scary thing when you don't know when the power is going to be restored and you don't have a generator. So Lady Kirk says Three Bridges has a wonderful burger. That's good to know. Lynette says, I think I read those books. Interesting twist. Yeah, I like a story with a twist. I'm all about it. Oh, okay, you're going to go to Epcot for Switchfoot tonight. Nice. That'll be fun. Give you a little break from the hum of the generators. So going back to that idea of scarcity and what we mentioned earlier about not feeling like you're enough, not feeling like you have enough time, not having enough. Scarcity influences society in three different ways. So that's through shame, comparison, and disagreements. So for shame, we're scared of ridicule, and we want to always be perfect. So that's one facet of that scarcity mindset. Comparison, you're held to a narrow standard. I mentioned in a previous stream, comparison is going to take away your joy, right? Because no two people are alike. You cannot compare yourself to someone else because you're starting out in different areas. You're two different people. So it's unfair for you to compare yourself to someone else when there's no one else like you. You're unique. So you're holding yourself to a narrow standard. So your disagreements, you're afraid to take risks. And I put up a post about this yesterday on YouTube, actually, and I posed the question, what are some risks that you would take if you know that you're not going to fail, right? We're so afraid of failure that we don't take those risks. We don't go after the things that might bring us joy or might actually be our passion because we're so afraid of failing and looking bad. And although that's like a normal human response, it's something that we need to be mindful of because we could be passing up some great opportunities. Let's go across the bridge because we have not done that yet. I love during the day they have this, it's like a little bar area open over here. And there's some seating areas. So you can enjoy a nice beverage right by the water.
Oh, there's some right here by the water. Okay, look.
It's okay, Lynette. Yeah, it is a hard question to answer. especially if you're kind of afraid of what you might say, right? Because then it's out there and you have a choice. You can either act on whatever risk you're afraid to take, or you're remaining the same. So that's definitely a question to ponder throughout the week. What are some things that you are passing up because you're too afraid to take that risk? And then think about that fear. Is it a rational fear? Or is it something that you're just creating in your mind? Are you creating that cage that you're going to stay stuck inside? I have to tell you that I was afraid for a while to start a YouTube channel or even to live stream, because for me, it's definitely creating a space of vulnerability, putting myself out there. I don't know how it's going to be received. And even when Pete puts my streams on the TV at home, or if he listens to any of my shorts and I'm in the same room, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to hear it. It's, a little bit embarrassing to have yourself kind of out there. But at the end of the day, if I'm coming from a good place, good intentions, it shouldn't be anything to be afraid of. And that says, because at this age, I find it easier to take risks. Well, that's good. Absolutely. 'Cause what do you have to lose? Let's take a little look. Obviously I'm going in the exit only, but I just want to peek in here. This looks like a fun little spot. It's giving me like Geyser Point vibes, which is one of my favorite lounges on property. They have great food. They have great views. I am definitely coming back here. I'm gonna say after 75 hard, because that bar looks really nice over there. I would love to hang and have a beverage and watch the sunset. Beautiful. Beautiful. My mom is texting me while I am live. I cannot check the text message. I'm so sorry. Look at that ombre sky. It's so beautiful. I like that. Captain Kirk says, yes, Lynette, I find the older I get, the more bold I become. Love it. I like to think I'm pretty bold when it comes to certain things. Peppermint Patty, good morning. And gotta love the Florida mornings. Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. My mom says, are you off from work today? No, somebody asked me that earlier. I am not off from work today, unfortunately, but I do have a ton of work to get back to in my job, because I have been off, I'd like to say 6 days out of the past 2 weeks. So it's time to get back. It's okay. It's okay. Gotta check in with my students, because I do have students all across Florida that some of them had to evacuate because of the storm, so gotta check in with them, make sure everybody's being safe. Mark Mueller, yes, that's the exact phrase. The famous phrase is, I'm too old for this stuff. This stuff, absolutely. So if you came in the middle of the stream or you're just joining us, thank you so much for being here. We talked a lot this stream about your past and how the person you become is not the result of, is a result of your inner decision, not the result of your surroundings alone. So everything that's in your environment does not dictate who you are. The environment that you were born into does not mean that that is your future. You have a decision, you have a choice every single day to be whoever you want to be. And you can rise above the situation. You can observe your current sufferings or challenges or obstacles as if they are already in the past. That's going to help you to get through those challenging times. And you need hope. Hope is going to drive you. You need goals to work towards. If you're living in that Groundhog Day mentality, you have to have something that's going to propel you forward. Get something to look forward to. You need a why to live for in order to make it through the impossible. How? How am I going to make it through this day? Reflect back on your why. And just remember that every experience you've had is yours, right? No power on earth can take it from you. Hey, Peter, good morning. And then finally, remember that your first thoughts in the morning are going to dictate your mindset for the rest of the day. If you have that scarcity mindset of, I didn't get enough sleep, or I didn't have enough time yesterday to do everything I wanted to do, right? It's going to impact our perspective for the day, the lens that we're going to look at our day through. So start out with gratitude. Try out that little habit that I talked about earlier. You know, thinking of 10 things that you're grateful for before you even put your feet on the floor to stand up in the morning. What are 10 things that you're grateful for? That's going to help reframe your mindset and start out each day with a grateful heart. Such a beautiful resort. Pete, I was just telling everyone that we need to go to Three Bridges and have maybe an appetizer and a cocktail once I'm done with 75 Hard. I need to be eating on the water. That's just like mandatory for me. And the weather's getting nicer, so a little bit cooler, so we won't be roasting. Oh, Lynette, that's sad. She says, I have to say, as a senior citizen, I have seen too many people my age have given up. Yeah, that makes me sad. That makes me sad. We have to reframe each day, right? Each day is a chance to change your life. You can start fresh. You don't have to wait for the first of the month or the first of the year or even for Monday. Start today. So here's a little map. We went all around. We went all around. Oh, thanks, Mom. I'm grateful that I have a daughter that's spreading good information that will improve people's lives. Very sweet, Ma. Meh. Thanks. And there, we started kind of over there. There's the dig site. That's that pool area that we looked at before, that main pool. Thanks, Lady Kirk. Oh, thank you, Lynette. Yes, Peter. Three Bridges on day 76. Well, I'm actually... Day 76 is the last day of my conference, because I did have a conference scheduled and then Helene kind of messed that up. So it'll be, maybe we'll go on day 77. Aw, Peaches, you do a great job. She says, I love that, Miss McTurk. It's great raising good people, sending positive messages. I'm trying to raise 2 young men with all of that. Thanks, Peter. I was gonna sit on this bench. Good thing I didn't, because it is wet. That would have been fun. All right, I just can't stop looking at this beautiful view here. So maybe I'll do it this way. Hold on. Okay. The hair is doing all right. I just want to thank all of you for being here this morning and taking time out of your day to grow and learn and take pieces of information, whatever resonates with you, and leave the rest. But thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already given that thumbs up, please do. Consider subscribing and maybe even becoming a Patreon so you have access to more valuable information and you be supporting the channel, which would be great. So thanks so much, guys, for being here, and I will see you next Monday. Not sure where we will be yet, but I do want to do another stream in celebration so we can take a look at those Halloween decorations, maybe the week of Halloween, but I'm not sure yet. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on the bell for all notifications so you'll be notified when I decide where I'm going to go live. Usually decide on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, so look out for that. I'm going to read these comments, but not when my face is there. Hold on. Yes, Peter, it is a great resort pick. Thank you so much. Captain Kirk says, great stream, Lauren. Thank you for the motivation, inspiration, and such a beautiful sunrise at Disney. Thank you again. Of course. Thank you, Captain Kirk, for being here. Thank you, Peter. Lynette says, after meeting your son, Peaches, you're doing a great job. Absolutely. Mark Mueller, thanks for a great walk and talk. Thank you for being here. Lady Kirk, thank you, Lauren. Just what we needed. Sending love and be safe. You be safe. I'm have my fingers crossed for you getting your power back today. Lynette, thanks, Lauren. Another great start to my week, of course. Love you, Ma. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. Get out there, crush those goals, and I'll see you next Monday. Where? I don't know, but we'll be here learning with Law. I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.